Well, Aaron, I am looking forward to introducing you and just listening to your message, the Cutco through college message. And when I was thinking about how we wanted to share just experience, you were somebody who came to mind immediately as somebody who has really taken advantage of the Cutco opportunity, the Vector experience, not just with yourself, also sharing the opportunity. Your sister Claire started in the South Denver office when you were an assistant manager. Now she runs her own office in Oklahoma and having an unbelievable time. Your younger brother started selling Cutco as well, and it's become a family tradition. And watching you grow and develop from, when you were, out of high school, 1 year out of high school, as a college student, and then watching you develop as a college athlete, as a superstar student, and just an overall great person, watching you use Cutco to help you achieve different levels in your life and your business over the years has been wonderful for me to see. You're at $100,000 in sales with Cutco sales, two-time SC2 #1 sales champion. So your first summer and then your second summer, you won as an assistant manager, #1 for Push Week for SC2. You sold a Cutco kitchen on your last day of Push. You're getting married in October, and Paulina is just the sweetest and perfect match for you that keeps your ego in check, even after you excel in everything that you do. His current job after graduated from college, he's a commercial insurance agent, and he sold $800,000 worth of insurance policies in his first 18 months. And a lot of that was through COVID. He has also secured two of the largest accounts for his agency during that time. And he's one of the youngest agents in his company, excelling at a really high level. And I asked Aaron, how did you take your Cutco experience and what did you learn over the years selling Cutco that helped put you in position for success afterwards, whether it was building your resume, your experience, but also just wanted to hear just your experience of Cutco over the last 4 years. And Aaron, you ran a branch office in Castle Rock. You were an assistant manager in South Denver, a top rep, and again, just an overall great friend of the company and a great friend of mine over years. And you've done so much for our division. So Mr. Aaron Beckman, on your Cutco through college experience. Let's give it up.
Hey, everybody. It's good to see everybody. It's kind of awkward, obviously. We're in strange times, so not being there in person and talking through the computers is the best we got, but feel free to ask questions here and there throughout the chat. If it's dumb, I'll ignore it. Drew says no, so even better, just don't post them. But I just want to try to share with you guys. Drew said it really well. I didn't do anything special. I'm not special. I just maximized the opportunity that Cutco gave me. And I think that what I accomplished through my experience working at Cutco is something that anybody can if you just follow the programs, do what you're told, and most importantly, listen to Drew. So I was very fortunate to have good people around me, and that's kind of what I'm going to share with you today. So I'm going to throw a visual on the screen just so you guys have something to look at other than my ugly mug for the next 10 minutes here. And we're just going to kind of go real quick through basically what my resume is and what my resume was built up through Cutco. A quick background on me. I was born and raised in Colorado on the south side. Went to school up in Denver called Bishop Matchbuff, and then went to school out of state in Minnesota. And it was over my summer breaks that I would come home and work for Cutco, paid my way through college, gained a ton of experience, and ended up getting both my jobs after college through Cutco, which I'll tell you about more here in a minute. And obviously I came in as a rep. I actually didn't start until right now, right after SC1. Alex Mazurek, who put a little comment in the chat, bugged me every day, and I was lucky enough to get dumped by a girl and then had a lot of free time left and came in that summer and got trained and just really saw what an opportunity it was over the summer. And truthfully, I was working another job and just didn't see myself making the kind of money I needed to make. So I figured I'd double down on work and ended up selling about $25,000 between when I started and the end of the campaign. Was fortunate to have some good managers push me and really built kind of the foundation for my business. So for a lot of you guys who are going into the end of the summer and thinking to yourselves, man, I'm kind of tapped out. I don't know what else I'm going to do with this job. I just came in at this time of the year and saw it as the opportunity to start thinking long-term. So for those of you who think, oh, this is my only summer or thinking about doing another summer, you got to think in terms of what the next 3 or 4 summers of your life could hold and build the foundation for that right now. And that's kind of where I came in, and I ended up meeting both of my future employers that first summer selling Cutco, networking with people, building my network, and then they ended up hiring me later on. So every person you meet with is an opportunity to network, to grow, and to build your future business. And then obviously won SC2 at the end of that summer. So here's a couple pictures from that summer, just going through, and my manager Devin, who helped me during that summer, and then obviously Drew is behind the scenes pushing me eventually to become an assistant manager. And if any of you are fortunate enough to have that opportunity to move into a management role, I think this is one of the most valuable things you can do as a high school or college student, because you get to come in behind people who are running the office. They're telling you exactly what you need to do to be successful. You're mentored every day, every hour, every demo, and you're shown what management is really like. And so for all of your friends who have management positions at a fast food restaurant or something that most kids do during the summer, an AM experience through Cutco is leaps and bounds ahead of any other management job that someone else can do, who's your age during the summer. And for me, that's kind of what really set me on the right path. Becoming an AM, I was surrounded by people who were pushing me to be better and elevated the level of competition that I went up against every day. Recruited 7 friends onto the team that summer who were super influential in their success, but also pushed me to work harder and ultimately have one of my best summers yet. I came back at a higher commission percentage right off the bat. So although my sales were somewhat equal, I made almost double the amount of money my second summer coming back. And because I was an assistant manager, I was leading a team of representatives. And so I couldn't have a bad week. Otherwise, my reps who were on my team were going to make fun of me. So every week I'm pushing myself to beat the reps that are on my team so I can hold them accountable. And that was probably the best summer for me, just because I never missed newsletter. I was Mr. Consistent. And then when it came down to the end of the summer, I knew I had to go hard for SC2 to really show my worth. And I'll talk more about that in a second. But I think from now until the end of the summer is kind of where you start to really show who you are and your value to both Cutco, but to your future self and your future employers. And so this is some of the pictures from that summer. I had such an incredible team, and some of my best friends came from this summer. And the picture on the right, actually, I live with 2 of those guys now. And we all don't work in Cutco anymore. We're all doing our own thing in life, and we're all pretty successful at what we do. And I think that just goes to show you the type of relationships that you build as a manager working for Cutco. And then I finally made the jump to open my own branch. And in my opinion, this is the best internship that you can ever do. And there's so many kids nowadays who are going to their junior or senior year of college, just like I was, who will take an unpaid internship, quote unquote, in their field to get, quote unquote, real experience. And really what that becomes for them is filing paperwork and doing coffee runs for senior management at whatever company they may want. And in my opinion, as a branch manager, you get to put things on your resume like I recruited staff, I interviewed potential employees, and then I trained and mentored those employees to produce a tangible number of growth for an office. And I think those types of experiences are just far and away better than someone who says, well, I interned for a summer, didn't get paid any money, and then came out on the other end of it really no better than I am now. And so that's why I think if you are considering a branch, it's going to be hard. It's not easy running your own business. And any of your guys' managers can tell you that. But I have a quote from my coach in college. He always said, never take the easy path in life, take the worthy path. And I think management and branch management especially is the worthy path. And you'll be much better for it on the other end. And then towards the end of the summer, had the opportunity to sell again. My office wasn't one of the top offices in total sales, but at the end of the summer, I needed to make more money for college, and you get put on 50% straight commission. and ended up having the biggest push of my life. Sold almost 15,000 in product in 2 weeks, made $7,500, bought a car, and went to college and had a fantastic year. So there's just so much opportunity. It's not worth missing out on. And here's some pictures. You can tell my branch summer aged me a little bit. I definitely look a lot older on the after picture on the right than when I first got promoted. But it was just so worthy, and it did really kind of help me grow from a young adult into the man I am now. So very grateful for that experience. And everything you just saw were bits and pieces of my resume, and this is what it looks like as the final product. So if you're not looking at your screen, look now. I mean, this is something that you can slap on any job's desk, no matter what field you're in. And someone's going to ask you, how did you get so experienced and so seasoned at such a young age? And that's what Cutco offers. And if you take full advantage of those programs, you stick around summer after summer, and you build relationships with people who are going to make you better, this is what your resume can look like. And so if you're not thinking about next summer, you should be. And post-college, obviously, Drew mentioned it's a family dynasty at this point. My sister is a branch manager. My brother is a FSM, and my second youngest brother is a rep. And we still have one more brother to go. So the goal is to have the largest Cutco tree of all time. And obviously, my family now sees the value. And if all of us can have success sharing the same exact network, then you should be recruiting your friends who obviously have different networks than people who are in the same family to come and join the team. And honestly, it's selfish of you if you don't share this experience with the other people who you actually are friends with and close with in life. And so post-college, like I said, I started working for one of my Cutco customers at New York Life. I kind of was just in an administrative role, and I really wanted to get into sales. So after about a year, I moved into a dedicated sales role. And then when I took that job, they said, okay, Aaron, you need to sell $1 million in premium in your first 3 years. So I'm on salary, and then I hit commission once I get to that goal. So they started me off sending me to training in Ohio. I'm the youngest agent in the program. And truthfully, the first 10 days of the training that I was out there, I was already ahead. I knew everything that they were teaching us, the phone skills, the sales skills, because Cutco had already taught it to me. So you will be ahead in life if you take advantage of the training your managers offer you. And as Drew mentioned, I started February of 2019. And like I said, it's a 3-year goal, and I'm a year and a half in, I'm already at 800,000. So I'm well ahead of pace, and really everything I've done in this job is exactly what Cutco taught me. It's just on a different scale with insurance premiums and chasing down large customers and getting those sales. And once you're in sales, you kind of get addicted. It's really hard to get out. So my last couple of minutes here, I just want to give you guys a couple tips for July and August. Like I said, I didn't start until now. And I think this is really the start for you guys of selling season. This is when you make the most money. It's when people are going to be getting back from vacations, getting ready to go in to normal life again. And so it's a huge opportunity for you guys to both sell yourself and get friends on the team who aren't, happy with their current job. They're realizing they're not going to make enough money, or they just messed around for the first part of the summer and they need to make that income back up. So you never know who could need that opportunity. I would just spread the word and tell people who you are, what you do, and get people interested, both in sales and joining the team. And then lastly, this is when you can make the most money in the shortest amount of time and get rewarded for it. You get to go on company trips, you get prizes, and you get great memories. So why would you not take full advantage of that opportunity? Just when in doubt, do more demos, because I didn't sell a huge high average order. I just did a lot of demos and met a lot of people. And that's how you're ultimately going to grow, because you can't promise who's going to buy, but you can promise that you can get in front of enough people. And the last thing is, this is the time of the year you can become a champion. Every company wants winners. And if you ain't first, you're last. And I say that jokingly, but the reality is when you can put multiple time champion on your resume, it's going to perk up a lot of companies' ears when you go out and look for a real job. So obviously, I know I have short time here, and I want to just give you as much information as I can about how much opportunity you guys have sitting in front of you, and you should be salivating. There's a ton of chance for you to get into any position you want, make the most of your own opportunity. And if you guys have further questions, feel free to reach out to me through Drew or through your managers, I'd love to talk and just mentor whoever I can, however I can.
Aaron Beckman, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a huge round of applause. Aaron, thank you so much for being with us on your birthday. And how old are you? What is this year for you?
24.
24 years old. And I think I met you when you were 18, right? So
I think so, yeah.
18 coming out, going on 19, something like that. So just an unbelievable, watching you grow and develop from being a top Cutco rep, and an all-star standout college, athlete, football player, a branch office, and now a loving and devoted fiance to Pauline and getting married in October. It's just so good to see you take the rep experience and make your life, I guess, accelerate the greatness that you would have achieved otherwise in such a short period of time. So thank you so much. Again, happy birthday. And thank you so much for being with us. One more time for Mr. Aaron Beckman. Love it. Your district manager friends and branch friends were all sending me messages during your talk. So good to have you back. Kevin Barthe started in May of 2010. He was promoted to assistant manager June of 2010 in the Colorado Springs and Fort Collins organization. Was a branch manager the summer of 2011, promoted to district manager the summer of 2012, assistant division manager January of 2018. So Kevin has had a smooth climb and trajectory in the vector management ranks. His first summer as a rep sold over $26,000 before going into management, $8 million in manager career sales. His first summer as a district manager was one of the top new offices in the company, almost $500,000 in sales. In the Colorado Springs office, their biggest year is just shy of $1 million in sales. Their biggest week, $89,000 in sales in 1 week out of the Colorado Springs office. Kevin has promoted 40 managers, branch and district managers over his career. And he was looking at some of his income. He's had 11 paychecks over $10,000 in his Cutco career. Not too bad. Biggest one over $33,000 with a nice bonus check. He's been to 15 countries with Vector. I think I've been to all of them with you. And we have some unbelievable experiences and photos and memories from those trips. He's won 2 state championships prior to Vector with soccer. He's run 2 half marathons, and he has also gotten 2 free BMWs from the company. So everything's coming in twos. But I know these last 2 messages are going to be absolutely killer. Kevin Barthe, thank you for delivering the goods. Thank you for your preparation. I will let you take it away. Let's give it up for Mr. Kevin Barthe.
Awesome. Thank you, Drew. I was looking through some of my paychecks when Drew had sent me my bio, or was looking for a bio, and I counted, and I've received 246 paychecks from this company. I've received 246 paychecks over $1,000. That's pretty baller. I was looking at that number and I was like, no way, that's almost 5 years of $1,000 plus paychecks. And, what I'm going to be talking about today is the best of you. And I want to start with just a story. I remember when I was a district manager and Drew talked about my biggest paycheck that I've ever received. My biggest paycheck that I ever received for a weekly check from this company is over $33,000 in 1 week. And I remember getting my first super bonus in May of 2015. And it was something that was bittersweet for me. I had been in the business for 5 years. I had been working the job. I was a rep, an assistant manager, a branch manager, and a district manager. And this was 3 years into being a district manager. And I remember the year prior to that, 2014, I got my teeth kicked in. I broke even on my expenses. I made $0.00. I did not know how I was going to pay for things, and I did not know how I was going to pay for the office. And then in May of 2015, I received the biggest check that I've ever received in my life. And that changed everything for me. And what I want to talk to you about today, how those 5 years of putting in hard work and now 10 years of work, and this is the decade for me, I've been here for 10 years now. Though what it's done, what I've learned, what it's created, and what it can do for you too. And so I want to share the best of you. You know, life is beautiful. Life is also hard, and life is a struggle. Life is rewarding. Life is a journey, and life is what you make of it. I love life. I love life. Do you enjoy yours? Do you enjoy yours? Because here's what I'll tell you. I couldn't say that. And in fact, I've struggled with a lot of things. I've struggled with depression. I've struggled with self-confidence. I've struggled with nervousness. I've struggled with negativity. I've struggled with frustrations. I've struggled with irritations. I've had many tears. I've been overweight. I've been stressed out. I've dealt with family deaths. I've dealt with financial strain. And I've dealt with even suicidal thoughts. It hasn't always been that way, but I love my life. I love my life. Life is hard. This is my 10th year of working here, and this has all really come full circle for me. And so I want to share. I'm going to share with you. I'm so pumped. I am so pumped to share the core values, 5 things that have helped me to become the best version of me. The 5 things that have made the biggest difference in my life. The 5 things that have allowed me to do the things in vector marketing that I have done and will do long term with this company and beyond, and will give me the tools that I want to succeed. I love living, and I love talking about these things. I love helping people, and I'm really excited to give you guys these 5 things today. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. I feel vulnerable. I want to share some things that have meant a lot to me over the last 10 years in doing this business. And not just doing this business, but living life. And so let's kick it off. First one, the biggest lesson that I've learned in my life to this date is to prioritize yourself. Prioritize yourself. I want to be the best version of myself for the people around me because they deserve it. They deserve the best Kevin Barthe. They deserve the best version of me to be there for them. I used to look at this as something that was selfish. Be the best version of you. Prioritize you. You, right? But here's what I realized. I'm responsible for me. So I need to take care of me to take care of others. It's really hard to take care of others if you don't take care of yourself. And I wish I would have prioritized myself more earlier in my career and earlier in my life. And I do that now. I do that every day. It's hard to take care of others when you don't take care of yourself. I've learned how to take care of myself. I've learned what makes me happy. And it's come down to 4 things. These 4 things are what helped me to get to this point. Energy is created by 4 things. Energy is created by 4 things. And I looked at these things early in my vector career. And this came from Drew, and this came from other people that I was surrounded by. And I tracked these things for 4 months. And what it helped me to do was it helped me to get the best version of me so I could give the best to other people. And you'll see what happens. So the first thing is, what do you eat? What do you eat? I tracked for 4 months, eating 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the concept that was introduced to me early was, do you eat to get the best version of yourself, or do you eat for taste? Do you eat for pleasure? It's different. You know, when your dogs run around and you come home and they're so excited and they want to play with you, and that's how it seems like it always is, right? It's because they eat the same thing every day. If you drove a Ferrari, you wouldn't fill it with sludge. And that's what I started to realize. What I'm putting into my body is what I am then creating for my life, right? So what do you eat? Second one is your water intake. Half your body weight in ounces. Half your body weight in ounces, right? You got to you got to drink enough water. Exercise. Third one, exercise. 3 to 5 days a week for 30 minutes to an hour. Nowadays, I go 6 days a week for at least an hour. At least an hour. And the last one was sleeping habits. I had to really look at my habits. I had to really look at how I was taking care of myself. Sleeping habits. What's your routine? I got introduced to this concept of sleeping for abundance versus sleeping for scarcity. What sleeping for scarcity means is that you're sleeping to get the least amount of hours to function the next day. I'm sure we've always done that. You know, we calculate how many hours we're going to get if we do the test, and, you know, the show, it ends at this time. Okay, how much time do I then have to sleep? And then I got to set my alarm for what time. So that means I got 7 hours, 8 hours, whatever. For 4 months, I tracked my sleep. And what I realized was that I was getting too much sleep. I was getting too much sleep, not too little sleep. I was getting too much sleep. Anyone, you know, I'm sure you can relate to this, where you wake up and in the afternoon, you get groggy and you get tired, right? You get groggy, you get tired. And that's because you're getting too much sleep. So if I get 6 hours of sleep, it's not enough for me. If I get 8 hours of sleep, it's too much for me. I get tired in the rest of the day. So 7 is my sweet spot. I wake up at 6 a.m. every day and go to bed by 11 o'clock. That's my routine, right? So prioritize yourself. When you take care of yourself, it allows you to take care of other people. You can't take care of other people how you want to take care of them unless you prioritize taking care of yourself. Okay? So that's number one, prioritize yourself. Be the best version of you because the people around you deserve it. Second one, discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. The better you get, the more you attract. The more money you attract, the better friends you attract, the better relationships you attract into your life. Success is something you attract by the person that you become. So take ownership. Take responsibility of your life. The more you take care of what you need to, the more you attract to your life. So I get things done. I get things done. My room is clean. I make my bed every day. I take care of myself. I brush my teeth constantly. They're freaking white. I love it. Okay? I take care of myself. My room, spotless. My house, spotless. For anybody who knows me, I take care of everything that's around me. And the reason why I do those things is because I realize that discipline equals freedom. The better you take care of the things in your life, the better you get into your life as well. And here's what I realized through discipline and freedom. Time is the most valuable resource that we have. Time is the most valuable resource that we have. And as I get older, I realize this more and more. Okay? Time moves quick. Don't wait to be disciplined in your life. Don't wait to add discipline to your life to have freedom. Because the more you save now, the more freedom you can have later. I remember when I was a management candidate, I was an assistant manager training to run a branch office. And I remember giving myself a budget of $20 every single week of eating fast food, and that was it. One, because I had to pay for other things that I needed to pay for. But two, I needed to limit what I was spending on other things. So I gave myself a cap. I gave myself a limit. I've been doing this for years. What it's created for me was I've never missed a bill once in my life. I've never mispaid a bill. I've never missed a bill once in my life. My credit score is almost perfect. It allowed me to save $100,000 by 27 years old. Discipline creates freedom. I got my first 100K saved by 27. That was always something that was in my mind that I was chasing, that I was always wanting to create for my life. But discipline created that, right? Discipline creates the future that you want for yourself. If I was a rep right now, the thing that I would be doing, that I would be really disciplined with, that would help everything in my business right now, is hitting the newsletter every single week, selling $1,000 worth of Cutco. And if you're not doing that now, figure it out. Don't be somebody who just blames other things on other people and says, oh, well, it's just my circumstances. Here's what's cool when you figure out how to sell $1,000 worth of Cutco every single week. You figure out how to make money. You figure out how to add value. You figure out how to make money for yourself whenever you want. And that skill is going to carry with you long term. Create the discipline in your life that you're looking for. Don't take a backseat to your life. Own your life. And create discipline. Third one, train positivity. Train positivity. Stay on your path. That's what I've realized over the last 10 years. Stay on your path. You're supposed to be right here, right now. All of you are supposed to be right here, right now. You can't change that, so embrace it. Enjoy it. You're supposed to be here. You might not know why, but you will in the future. So stay on your path. Be patient. Accept life for what it is. Accept life for what it is. Everything will work out for the greater purpose, and you got to trust the process. So train positivity. How I trained positivity was I surrounded myself with the right people. Surrounded myself with the right people. You are the byproduct of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Your finances, your lifestyle, your health, your wellness, your mindset, everything is a byproduct of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So surround yourself with people that enrich your life. Surround yourself with people that make you better. Surround yourself with people that help you. Surround yourself with people that inspire you and motivate you and don't take away your energy from feeling good, okay? Train yourself to think positively. So many people these days, they think about negative things. We are very trained to think negatively, very trained to think negatively, okay? So you got to train yourself to think positively, and you got to surround yourself with the right people. Invite change. Welcome obstacles. Bring it on. Welcome those things. Be the person who's a solution finder, not a problem finder. The thing that I always have in my head constantly is the tougher the challenge, the bigger the reward. The tougher the challenge, the bigger the reward. And I've experienced this a lot. The tougher the challenge, the bigger the reward. You know, life's greatest lessons come from life's greatest challenges, and it always gets better. It always gets better. I am here to tell you that no matter how tough it gets, no matter how hard it is, no matter what's going on in your life, it will always get better. It will always get better, and it will come in different ways that come into your life that you would least expect. It makes you better, it makes you a better person, and you will learn from it. So here's what really helped me to train my positive thoughts. I would journal 3 times a day. Journal 3 times a day. And that journal that I would put into my journal is, what is my current emotional state? I do this 3 times a day. What's my current emotional state? In the morning, in the middle of the day, and in the evening. And I would check in with myself and I would say, okay, Kev, how do you feel? What's your current emotional state? How do you feel right now? And instead of me just writing down, oh, I'm frustrated or I'm irritated if I'm feeling that way, I would figure out why. And what this allowed me to do was to train positivity and to coach myself. I love journaling. I love writing down my thoughts because then I know exactly what to think about in order to get to where I want to be. When you write down your thoughts and you get things onto a sheet of paper, you problem solve. And I wish I would have started journaling significantly earlier as well. Create the habit 3 times a day. I write in my journal every morning. I write 3 things that I'm grateful for. Start off my day, 3 things I'm grateful for. It's awesome. I love it. I just opened up one earlier, and the first thing that I wrote down, this is on the 28th, I wrote down, number 1, I'm grateful for Charles Boyd. Charlie Boyd and I had a great conversation that day. I'm grateful for hammocks, okay? Grateful for hammocks. The staff and I had a great hammock night, and I'm thankful for growth. And it puts you in the right mindset to kick off your day, to feel good, and to train positivity. Again, we're trained to think so negatively that you need to train yourself to think positively. Look for solutions, look for answers, all right? And also, figure out what makes you happy. No one else is gonna make you happy. You gotta make yourself happy. You gotta figure out what makes you happy, all right? 4th key, add value to the world. Add value to the world. Learn new skills. Get better in Cutco and outside of Cutco. In Cutco and outside of Cutco. Whenever you feel, this is a good sign for everybody on this call. Whenever you feel like you're plateauing or you feel like you're irritated or you're frustrated and you don't know why, not motivated. Anyone ever been there before? Feel like you're not motivated, you don't want to get up for the day, you don't want to get up for the evening, whatever it is, you're stuck, you need to grow. What I've realized is that this is a trigger point inside of your head that when you are stale, when you are bored, and when you are dull, you need to grow in order to stimulate yourself to be motivated. So whether it's in Cutco or outside of Cutco, add value to the world, learn new skills. Here's what I realized the other day. I'm 30 years old. I've been on this planet for 30 years, which is 10,950 days. 10,950 days and 262,000 hours. And I look back at my high school career And I'm like, how the hell do I not know Spanish? Like how the hell have I spent this much time and taken so much of those classes and I still don't know those things? And what this made me realize was, if you're not intentional about the things that you want to add into your life, and you're not intentional about where you want to grow in your life, then it's really hard to learn new things. We're all on here on this planet for a short amount of time. So make the most of it. Make the most of it, but add value, right? Blake in his call earlier said, be interested, not interesting. Become curious about the things that are around you. You will live a happy life. Become curious about the people around you. Often, and most of the time, the people that are the most interesting are the ones that are the most interested. So become interested. Become interested in other people's lives. Become interested and curious about the world around you. Become curious about, how do I get to become that Cutco sales professional? How do I get to become that branch manager, that district manager, to help me to get to where I want to be? Become curious and stay curious. You know, when you're adding value to the world, treat others how you want to be treated. Treat others how you want to be treated. What you put into the world is what you get back from the world as well. So you got to treat others how you want to be treated. Go above and beyond on everything that you do. Go above and beyond on everything that you do. You have nothing to lose by making somebody's day better. Whether it's your customer, your manager, your friend, your family, whoever it is, you have nothing to lose by making somebody else's day better. And what happens is, when you enrich other people's lives, your life will be enriched as well. When you enrich other people's lives, your life will be enriched also. When you give your best to what you're doing, because that's all we get, guys. That's all we get right here, right now. That's it. When you give your best, you're going to get your best as well. Live with abundance. Live with abundance and give more into the world than you can ever ask back for in return, and watch what happens. So get better, improve, learn a new skill, work on things, and see what happens. And the last thing that I have for you that has really helped me over the last decade: go live and live your best life. Take advantage. You are where you are right now. Accept it, embrace it. You've made your decisions. Congratulations. You're here, you're now. But learn to become present. Stop living in the past. Stop living in the past. Stop letting the past dictate your future. I'd rather be right here, right now, than anywhere else. Would you? Right? Don't let the past dictate your future. And when you're living your life, I used to think about this a lot. I used to think about what other people were thinking of me. And that held me back from thinking about what I wanted to do for my future. Right? I thought about this the other day, the fear of missing out, FOMO. You know what FOMO is and what it allows you to do? It allows you to miss out because you're not being present into your life, and you're thinking about all the things that you're missing out on. So you don't even live your life now. Be present. Live your life. Go out there. Be who you want to be. Do your best at everything you do. Believe in yourself. You're a freaking baller, and you deserve the best in your life as well. All right? Today's a great day to have a great day. Go live it up. Take these lessons and learn, and go enjoy your life, because it's worth living. So, thank you.
Alex Mazurek finishing up our meeting today, and what a great 1-2 punch this is. Alex has been a mainstay in the South Denver office and Rocky Mountain Division for so many years. I'm going to bring up his the actual bio and stats here. Started in 2012 in the South Denver office. I got to interview Maz right after he was finished up school and before his summer break started. He was promoted to an assistant manager within 3 months. He was promoted to the pilot manager of the South Denver office the fall of 2013. He was the pilot manager for 3 years during college. While he was a full-time student, was a full-time pilot manager. He bought a house at age 23. He was promoted to district manager in 2016. Over the last 4 years, in the categories that the North Denver office was in, they finished number 6 in the first year, number 4, number 3, and last year finished number 2 in the national standings. He's over $4 million in career sales. He's been to 9 different countries. I've gotten to hang out and experience almost, I think, all of those with Maz. And he is a national speaker at our SLC conference that only a few district managers in the company ever get to experience. So to wrap up our meeting today, to talk about the summer starting now, to give you path and direction for success. You saw the North Denver office, over $100,000 in sales and some absolute rainmakers up there in that office. Maz is going to teach you the strategy and give you the tools to have the biggest month and the biggest next few months of your Cutco career. And hopefully for those of you who are new, this is the foundation for an exciting career with Cutco. So let's give it up for Mr. Alex Mazurek.
Yo, let's do this. Let's talk July. Let's discuss everything that you guys just learned here today. By the way, that's why I'm here. Everything that you guys just saw. Gosh, I've been doing this 8 years now, and every single time I get something new. I learn something new from Curtis. I get new motivation from Kevin. Like, it is, it's amazing that every single year you can grow. And when I look back on my career with Cutco, you know, a month that sticks out to me, and a month that helped me become an assistant manager, and a month that helped me become the pilot manager, we're in it. It is the first day of that month. July is so crucial, and so many big things can happen, guys. I don't know if I would be here if I didn't do my first summer in 2012. If I didn't do it, I did in July. There's some big things that are coming. So let's chat a little bit about that. Benefits of a big second half. Here in July, you guys are going to experience massive growth. You're going to learn more in the next 4 weeks than maybe you've learned all summer, or even through high school for that matter. Some of you guys are going to become assistant managers. Some of you guys are going to get promoted to branch managers. The resume that you guys are going to expand and build and grow. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I've known Aaron Beckman for a while. But seeing that resume and seeing everything that the job has done for him, it was July. This is the week that he started. So much. I mean, potentially making more money than you've ever made in a single month. One thing I can tell you guys, doing this job through college for 4 years, when you got cash, we say cash is confidence. When you got money in college, man, does that feel good. It is way better to go to Torchy's Tacos and ball out on your meal versus having to ask your friends for cash. It's no fun. You being able to cover some of your homies through that time, that's exciting. Not having to push the mommy daddy button. July could produce all of that. The amount of savings that you guys can have here in the next 4 weeks are huge. You're right now. I mean, think about where you're at. No matter where you are, you're better than where you started. You're better at the job. You're at a higher income percentage. You're making more money off of your sales. I think about the competition through July. July is an opportunity to really make a name for yourself. I think about Daniel Longtime. Daniel Longtime in here, branch manager of the Cheyenne, Wyoming office, #1 branch in the division for SC1 push. And, you know, Daniel did not get off to the strongest start in this job. He sold just around $3,000 in his fast start. And then he sat down and he went to an SC1 conference. He was at this meeting. I gave a similar message last year, and he was like, you know what? Why can't I do that? Why couldn't I potentially become a top rep here? Why do I have to rest on my 3K and my fast start and think that that's my limit? That's my absolute potential. He said, if I actually sit down, do this job the right way, what could actually happen? And Daniel will tell you 3 weeks from right now, he started his SC2 push. Guys, if you didn't get what you wanted to out of SC1 push, that's why we have a second one, SC2 push. SC2 push is an opportunity for you guys to experience everything that you've been seeing here. And so Daniel, he sat down, he buckled down, and he was a $10,000 push winner. He sold 10 grand in his push. And 8 months later, he opened up a branch office. 18 years old, just graduated from high school. And within a year, he became a business owner with the company. July could throw some incredible things your way. The other thing I think about July is your team needs you. Every office, every team on here has some massive goals. Those are going to get hit in July. What I want you guys to think about right now is next summer. Think about next summer. And I don't care if you're thinking next summer Cutco. I don't care if you're thinking next summer outside of Cutco. Think about next summer. What could next summer mean for you inside and outside of the business? Is it advancement? As you've been hearing all these stories, is management something that you're now thinking, okay, I could probably, or I should probably try to become an assistant manager because I want my resume to shape up like Aaron Beckman's? Is it financial freedom and security? Is it talking about what Wes talked about at the beginning of the day and maxing out in your early 20s or maybe even teens your Roth IRA? Is it AM? Is it branch manager? Is it district manager? Have you seen some of the DMs and said, I don't know about that, but that career, that freedom, that travel, that flexibility, that free BMW, maybe that sounds good after college. That's what I started thinking as I started going through the job. I just started wondering, what could life really look like? This is the month where us as district managers, Drew, this is where we find our future leaders. And the way I think about that, anybody can ball out for a couple weeks. Now, anybody can go hard for a couple weeks on this job, but it takes special consistency with leadership and work ethic to become that top rep, that top assistant manager. And that's what we're looking for. Use July to prove yourself. That's one thing I want you guys to write down is use July to prove yourself. And some of you guys, you're doing that right now. You are absolutely on that path. Some of you know you've got some untapped potential and you're not pushing yourself as hard as you could. And I'm not saying you have to work this job every single day for all of July. If you want to go after it, I promise you it's going to produce so much for you. But it's the accountability to yourself to get done what you know or what you said you were going to get done. July is going to produce sales manager opportunities. Manager opportunities where you go through training while you're away at school or non-local. My entire management staff in the North Denver office, all 8 of them went through management training while they were out of the state. Most of them were out of the state. Some of them were close by, but they went through it all virtually and prepped themselves to become the most BA assistant manager squad. So let's chat about how to do this. I want you guys to write down how to go big in July. You know, one of the people that I think about is Ashley Stevenson. Some of you guys don't know Ashley, but she was one of my reps, assistant managers and branch managers. And Ashley, one of the most shy people that I'd ever met in my life. In training, she didn't say a dang word to me. I didn't think the girl wanted to actually be there. What I didn't realize is she was just listening. She was listening. She was internalizing. She was really, really focused. I learned something about Ashley, and she was fiery competitive, and she had such a desire to do well in her future. And Ash took July to build momentum. So I want you guys, first thing to write down is how to go big is start building momentum now. What do you need to do that? We need to sell $1,000 this weekend. Go hit the newsletter this weekend. Use those things that you just learned. Put them into action. We have about a 24 to 48 hour window to start internalizing the things that we learned. You want to be able to implement immediately. So go after that $1,000. So Ash, she went through this conference. She sat down and she said, well, here's my 3-week building momentum schedule. Guys, in 3 weeks, we've got SC2 push. We got the biggest push of the year. The coolest time to be a Cutco rep is SC2 push. All of my assistant managers, they're fiending. They're waiting for this to come because I make them work a lot. And during SC2, I'm releasing them. And they know what SC2 is all about. But they also know these next 3 weeks are really, really crucial in terms of building your momentum. So back to my story about Ashley. She sat down and she made a commitment to herself. She would not miss the newsletter for the 3 weeks going up to SC2. She was going to do whatever it took to get herself 10 appointments. That's all it takes, by the way, guys. It's 2 to 3 demos a day for 5 days out of the week. If you can do 2 to 3 demos a day, 5 days out of the week, you're going to be putting yourself on path to hit the newsletter or quite a bit more. What happened through that time period? Well, she got way better at the job. She implemented all the things that she learned at SC1. She got a ton of leads. I mean, think about that. The stuff you guys just learned from Charlie Boyd, 5 to 10 recommendations on every demo that you do from this point forward up for those 3 weeks. She had a fat base of customers, good leads. And then she sat down. She cleared her schedule for 2 weeks. She told her boyfriend, she told her family, she told her friends. She's like, you guys might not see me for 2 weeks. You might only see me on Snapchat working, and that's maybe it. And she went and sold $20,000 in 2 weeks. She set the North Denver office record for SC2 push as a 19-year-old going into her next year of college. In 2 weeks, she made like $7,000. What could SC2 look like for you if you build that momentum? So how to go big in July? Next thing I want you guys to write down is be a CEO in July. Again, you don't have to do this every single month of the year. If you want to turn out like Charlie Boyd and be one of the fastest to ever hit $1 million in sales, sure. But what if you just did that in July? What if you created major accountability to yourself in July? What if you rose your standards to the highest that you've ever been? You didn't let yourself down anymore, and you stuck to what you said you were going to do. Go pro, be a CEO in July, set your goals, work them backwards, get down to it. Commit to the process. Commit to the process. What is the process for our job? It's the easiest thing on the planet. Sit down 3 to 4 days a week where you make an hour of phone calls. Make 20 to 30 phone calls each of those hours. That's the process. Commit to that. No one enjoys it. It's no one's favorite part about this job. Says hop on with your assistant managers on Zoom. Make sure you show up to every single team meeting leading up to SC2, and you will have the biggest paychecks over SC2 that you've ever experienced. It's about making the right choices. Drew talks about the decision train, doing things even though you know, doing the right thing even when you don't want to do it. I wrote that quote up here on my whiteboard when Aaron Beckman spoke. He said, never take the easy path, take the worthy path. Make the tough choices, because they're really not that tough. Why they're tough right now, and maybe they are tough for you right now, is because you haven't been consistent enough with them. You haven't built the right habits right now. So again, back to Ashley. I love using her as an example. For those 3 weeks, she built the right habits. She showed up to all of her phone jams, didn't miss a single one. She reached out to her friends, started gathering more names and phone numbers for her list through July so she could show all of those people and build her leads. She made all the tough choices through these next 3 weeks. So that way when SC2 push hit, she was good. She had all the right habits in place. She would do a demo, and before she called me to check out of that demo, regardless of what happened on that demo, she made 5 phone calls. She made 5 phone calls after every demo, so she was always replacing demos. It's creating the right habits. Become a CEO. Be tough on yourself. Be accountable to yourself. Whatever that goal is. Again, it's different for every single person on here, but just don't let yourself down for your goal. Think big. Go pro. Have a freaking blast, because you can still have fun. Shoot, you could do 4 demos at the beginning of every single day and have an entire rest of your day to go to the pool, to, I don't know, quarantine. You can do whatever you want. Do more demos. It's the beauty of where we are right now. You can do as much as you want. So we've got 6 to 8 big weeks of summer left, especially if you're a student. So 2 to 3 demos a day for the next couple of weeks. Then go big for push. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Make bank over that time. Set yourself up for August. I want to talk about July 4th and the importance of what we're coming up to right now. So you guys can put in your notes. July 4th weekend is huge. Every single weekend that I've been a part of this company and July 4th rolls around, we sell so much. You've probably talked with your managers about this, guys, but what's happened over the past couple of weeks? The market, it's what's called the market has been primed. All of our customers, what they've been seeing over the past couple of weeks is sales, 4th of July sales, discounts, buy now, buy big, best deals you're ever going to receive, Mattress Firm, right? Everybody is primed, and they wait. Guys, homeowners wait for holidays. Sometimes they will just wait before buying things just for the holiday to roll around, because we all know what's going to happen. We know the biggest deals are going to happen at this time. They have the money right now. They've been saving to buy something cool during 4th of July. You might as well show up and be that person. We got big deals going on this 4th. So on the 4th, I want to give you guys a tip right now, because I know a lot of our offices were hopping into a phone jam right after this. Drew mentioned this earlier. I think he had 4 demos on the 4th of July, one of his first summers, and sold 4 studio sets. That's a very profitable day. And then he still got to go hang out with all of his buddies and his family. So when you're on the phone, if you want to take notes on this, if you're on the phone, urgency, build rapport, ask for what their plans are first. So as you're going through your script and you say, Mr. Jones, my goal is to do 15 appointments by Monday night, but in order to accomplish that, I've got to do 4 appointments on the 4th at a minimum. It's really important for me to be able to do that to hit my goal at the end of the week. But first, what are your plans for the 4th of July? Are you guys doing anything in the morning or in the afternoon? Now, what typically happens on the 4th? And most people hang out in the afternoon. Nobody's really doing things in the morning up until like 12 or 1 o'clock. After that hits, you'll have a lot more people doing barbecues and things like that. But you guys have most likely the entire morning to book some demos. I mean, imagine you sell a homemaker set, you sell 500 CPO worth of stuff before the day really gets going, and you know already on the 4th of July, you made $150 to $300 before the day even begins. That's a very fun 4th of July when you get to experience the rest of your day with money in your pocket because you knew you popped. So my goal is to do 15 appointments by Monday night, Mr. Jones. But in order to do that, I've got to be able to do 4 appointments on the 4th. So really quick, what are your plans for the 4th of July? You guys doing anything in the week, in the evening or in the afternoon? You're doing things in the afternoon? Awesome. Well, I'm trying to get 4 before the afternoon too, because I got some plans myself. Is there any way you could squeeze me in at would 9 a.m. work better for you, or 10:30? I promise I will make it like the highlight of your day. Your friends and family are going to have to work really hard to make the rest of the day better after you get done with me. So whatever you got to do, stress emergency. So here's where we are. Everything that's happened over the past couple of months, if you've been here for the past couple of months, if you've been here for a week, welcome. to the coolest meeting you could possibly be in within your first week on the job. But whatever has happened in the past, that's all preseason. That was all preseason. That was all practice. That was all getting the hang of this, getting good at this, figuring it out. July, starting today, right after this meeting ends, we're in the regular season. These next 3 weeks are the regular season to build your momentum. And then SC2 push, those are our playoffs. That's where the big dogs show up. That's where the people that are hungry for that management opportunity, the FSM path, people who want to hang out with Curtis Jacques and Charlie Boyd and all the best, that's where they show up. So use this July to get down to business. So the last thing I want to talk about before I leave you guys, because I'm over my time here, is who's the person that you want to develop into in July? Think about the person you've been in the past couple of weeks or the past couple of months in this job. Think about the accountability that you've had to yourself, the habits that you've created. Think about what Kevin said. What are the sleeping, the eating, the exercise habits that you've created? Who could you become in July? Who's that person that you really want to develop into? Let's get started on that right now. These 3 weeks could have a long-lasting impact on the rest of your life. I didn't know that was going to be the case. I didn't realize that, 8 years ago, my SC2, my July leading up to SC2 was going to be a reason that I was going to get promoted to an assistant manager. And that assistant manager was going to be the reason I was going to get promoted to pilot manager. And the pilot manager position was going to be the reason I never had to worry about money ever again. And I got to finish college debt free and got to save up for my first home. And that was going to be the reason that I got to go career with this company. I didn't know that at the time. And you never know what's going to happen unless you give it everything. So implement the things that you learned here today. Keep pushing towards your goal. The second half of the summer is where the champions are made, the people that finish strong. So my last thing I want to leave you guys with is take action right now. We got a phone jam coming up right after this. You're going to be chatting with your division and your branch managers. Get down to business. Get a PC booked with your manager. Get on the phone. Be accountable to yourself and go after hitting the newsletter this week at $1,000 in sales. Make a sale right away. I know some of you guys got demos right after this. Post that. Implement. And let's go big. Let's make July the coolest month of your life. Thank you guys.